Guys and dolls, what I got a make on tonight. I'm in the mood for a make. Right, so let these get in. Try not to miss any of your comments. Coming in to say hello. Okay, let's turn this down. Let's take that out of the way. I want to see my comments. Okay, let's have a look at this, guys. It's a bit slow on it. Okay. Well, good evening, Michael. Big Foxy lad, Bradford loyal, big up Freedom Dad, cheers, mate. Sir, good evening. Wee bit bunkers. Proper snatcher, Davey. Right to be right, good evening, bro. Alan and team, all good. Cheers, mate, good to hear that. 401, evening Freedom Dad, evening, mate. Gary, evening. Big up, big up. Philip, big up, mate. Oh, all good, mate. Just chilling like a villain. Go and get my mics in. Big bass boom. Turn that right there. That's annoying me. Ladies, yeah. Good to see you. Freedom Dad, you can cook my dinner next time. It turned out a good wee dinner, guys. Give me 2 seconds. You get down. Oh, you have to see this. You have to see this. Give me a second. You kitten? Kitten? There you go. Yeah. So, hope you can hear me. Let's see, I just do this. Okay, how's that sound, guys? There's a wee sound check. Wee Reggie. Yeah, wee Reggie's right. I could call it a wee few other things. But yeah. Hey, you. Fuck about with cables. They always fuck about with cables, don't they? Hey, so let's see who's in. John Rankin. Vindicator strikes back. How you doing, mate? Let's say that again. Blaine's a Batman. Hello, mate. Thanks for giving me shit. Oh, I know, mate. You deserve it. If anybody deserves it, it's you. Let's be honest. But watching you for a wee while, and you know, you're not everybody's cup of tea, as you know yourself. You know what I mean? You're quite controversial, and you know, it's as I've kept watching you, I haven't agreed with everything, but it's one of them things where you don't agree with something. It doesn't mean you switch off, you know. But and it's turned out I'm quite happy that I kept following you, mate. To be honest with you, that's the facts. Um, as far as anybody's doing, like I'm one of them guys that say you're working for my daughter, you're working for against my daughter. You're one of them men that's definitely working for my daughter, and yeah, you're tuned in, you're on the button, you know, you're saying what everybody else is thinking, and yeah, I've learned a bit from you as well. So you know, I couldn't go through life and not shout a man like that out, guys. And that's what I always say to you with my platform. You know, that's what it's about. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. And what really thinking me was like the amount of views you were getting on your channel, and with such a low subscription, and it's because you don't ask people to subscribe. You're like me back in the day, and you know, you're quite happy with just getting the word out and have people like me spread the word out for you, and you're not there to throw up, subscribe and follow and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of us will say, you know, it's free to subscribe, and you know, it helps the channel and whatnot. And my advice would be to do that, you know, because it is humble to do that and be that kind of guy on a YouTube creator, with the knowledge and information that you've got to offer to the community, your community, and other communities. Um, but I think it would serve us and our communities more if you did promote your channel a bit more, and let people know that subscription was free, because a lot of people are awakening in the middle of this and don't really understand YouTube. And also letting your subscribers know that you can set up a YouTube channel. You don't need to put your bank details in, you know what I mean, and you don't have to use your own name, as far as the title of your logo. So that's all that is about me. It's credit where credit's due, and yeah, I won't stop doing that. And thank you for letting me use your videos as well. So yeah. So great mic and sound. Happy days. Thank you. Great artist. Good artist. It's good to know that because I'm never sure. Have you have to with the way YouTube works? Yes. Yeah, you have to. No problem, Vindicator man. Yeah, you gotta do it. It is one of them ones like what YouTubers like Vindicator, Strike Max, and others. They're not here for anything other than bettering their community, and most likely have children and family that they care about. And yeah, it's having an opinion, being opinionated. You know, at the end of the day, some people just don't like that. And it's like me with Nigel Farage at the start, and the amount of people that left me, and we wouldn't. I've seen with because I am that kind of creator. I notice things like this, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking to myself, well, you're definitely not looking subscribers. You know what I mean? And it stands out. It does stand out because there's not enough people out there to do that. There's not enough. I'm not saying genuine. I don't want to. I have to get careful with my words here. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of guys out there that feel that building their platform's more important than being 100% like not truthful, but it's not bringing things that maybe should be brought. Yeah, I've got to be choosing my words very carefully because I don't want to upset anybody or come across to offend anybody. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's a lot of YouTubers just won't touch certain issues or go up against other people, and when they have their doubts and stuff. And like I say, it's always an opinion, and I'll listen to it, and it's down to me as an individual whether I'm going to take that on board or not, or just think, no, you think you're wrong, or you know what I mean. But it shouldn't stop you keep following somebody. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's character, it's personality to a channel. They're different. They're not quoting off the same choir book. They're not all copying all the same incidents that's going on. And like I say, there's quite a few stand out. But with that in mind, you do have to, like, if you're going to do this, you may as well do it right. That's what I say, and that's the way I think. And by doing it right, it's like if you want to monetize it, life is hard enough. You know what I mean? So, my advice would be to people: demonetize it. It's just adverts. It doesn't cost people anything. They've just got to sit through 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 50 seconds in some cases. And I'll have to say, YouTube channels, you lose me with the 50 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a 50-second guy that can wait there for 50 seconds to watch a video. But a lot of people can. It depends what the content is, mind you. Dino Brain has caught me a few times sitting for 50 seconds, waiting for his content, But yeah, I've got, like I say, it's not about that. But a lot of people, I think a lot of people like Vindicator and has that idea that by pushing it out too much, it comes across as you're marketing it, you're trying to sell something, and the message gets lost. You know what I mean? That's what I think, but it is what it is. So what we got? Alex Robbins, Freedom Dad. My dad works in the city airport. He said there's a busloads of these immigrants coming in, multiple buses every night of the week. Any chance of getting a few people plus CJ audits he's put out there? Yeah. So it's a difficult one. I'll be honest with you, I have looked into it. Okay, I am like ahead of you there on that one. I am aware that's happening, and well, I'm not aware of what's happening, but I am now. Thank you. You know what I mean? But I have been thinking of staking it out, and I have checked it out, and it is now near impossible to sit about anywhere in the airports and watch for anything. You know what I mean? It's too risky. It's bringing a lot of attention to myself, and that I don't need. But I do believe there's enough whistleblowers out there to get the word out. You know what I mean? And like I say, I'm not telling people what to do, but I'm just telling what my experience is, what I've seen. This is what I try to do. Is in England, when it was too late basically, no, for me, well, not too late. I should stop saying that. You know, I should give these guys credit for what they're doing and still fighting on. You know, and you know, I don't. I think it's too late. You know what I mean? But hopefully, we can do something to help them. To do. I don't know. We need to get. They need to help themselves first. Obviously, they need to come together and create and stop excluding anybody. Geez, oh man, you know what I mean? We're all getting far right. We're all getting called far right now. You know what I mean? So fuck it, you know what I mean? Yeah, but that's another video. Um, I've lost my way. It's fucking sorry. Yes, but what's happened and what I've seen in England is that we have whistleblowers. People will take videos, and that filters back to citizen journalists and YouTubers. You know what I mean? So that will come. You know, whatever YouTube channel gets it or whatever, you know, it will come. And it will be highlighted, you know. But as far as we have, as far as citizen journalists, we have to be careful. You know, we have to be careful to do. I don't know what happened there. It is a difficult thing to do, guys. No, just sing it on the telly. But we are doing our best. And but like I say, it's like this. This fucking you can't explain it any better than this, right? Just like the police. The police don't solve crimes. We all know that, right? Fucking the police rely on informants and witnesses. Okay, they're looking for CCTV cameras, and so it's always somebody else that helps the police. And most 99% of cases, it's not like you see Sherlock Holmes and all that where they're all sitting around, you know, and or where you see the thin blue line on all these programs on telly, you know, 90%, 99%, I would go to say is intelligence from the public. You know, if you see anything, report it. Confidential hotline that was in Northern Ireland, and you know, so it's it's a wee bit. Sorry, I did put my do not disturb on. I don't know why that's happened. So what was I saying now? So it is a wee bit like that with the Patriots. Believe it or not, you know, I'm not saying we're the police, you know what I mean, but I'm talking about journalists. You can try the journalists. You can try mainstream journalists with your information. I don't know how far that will go. England turned away from Jesus Christ despite many warnings. That's why England is being Islamified. I'm praying the English will turn to Jesus Christ soon. Yeah, Robert Rankin. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Jimmy McKinney. I agree with you wholeheartedly there, mate. Robert Rankin, great show, young man. Nice for one name to lead us on. Nice for one name to lead us on. Freedom Dad. Thank you, Robert. I just like, don't believe they missed him. um, Iron Lady, John, he's letting on. He doesn't see it. Oh, what am I looking for? Oh, I see it. Oh, it's right. Okay. You get the tight there, right? To be right. Yeah. Got a story for you. He's like, Mr. Rankin. That's not really his fault, but for a moment it was. So I'll tell you a bit. I'll tell you a bit in a moment when I was going to have a go at John Rankin. You know, I'll tell you in a minute. I'll finish with this. What was I talking about? Yeah, so the way the police gather information to solve crimes is basically how the Patriots work. We rely on Uselat to gather the evidence that needs to be brought to the public to show the crimes of the government and the secrecy and and the skullduggery of our government right now. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I say, I keep giving this message to the politicians. You need to step up. You know what I mean? Because do not think for 1 minute when anything comes out that we won't think that you didn't know about it. You know what I mean? And we would like to know about it as well. You know, so if there's anything going on that the people in Northern Ireland should know about, I think you should be telling us. You know, rather than letting whistleblowers and leaving it up to people like me to bring it to the public. Beware the possibility of snitches in the camp, Sparky. Oh, there's always snitches in the camps. Fuck's sake, you know what I mean? It's Northern Ireland. It's like this is the world of special branch and intelligence services and the dirty war. You know what I mean? And collusion. Okay, hell, man. Yeah. John is not my dad. My brother is in Aberdeen. Deborah Hart, Freedom Dad, wee bit bunkers. Hello there, Deborah Hart. Good to see you. Stop with the on signals. I can't help it. James. I'll hold on to my cup. Yeah, you're some boy. Now you're giving me a complex. Now you've given me a complex, James. One of my own moderators as well. Cheers. I'll big up CJ. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. I'll shut up for 5. Then I'll talk about John Rankin. Hope you're good, CJ. Hope you're good, mate. So you had such a laugh, honestly. Such a laugh. You taking the piss out of me with that umbrella, like. And I heard about. I never caught the live that you took the piss out of me now, CJ. But I've been told by many people, you know, not being able to hang on to the umbrella. Yeah, good one, mate. I'm glad he's had a wee laugh. You know, when Freedom Dad was sleeping, dreaming of my next video, dreaming of my next live on the streets, CJ was ripping the piss out of me. I don't expect anything less. You know, don't expect anything less from our CJ. I'd rather he rip the piss out of me because he's normally telling me off. I'm always waiting for a phone call in the morning when I've done something wrong or said something wrong. Fucking nightmare, honestly. If he phones me in the morning, I know I'm getting a balligan. He was good crack in Belfast. Yeah, it was good crack, mate. It's always good crack, man. It's like the last time we were there, a pigeon landed in Freddie's head, mind. See, we did. None of us had I didn't have a body worn at the time. CJ was working out of Lawrence Station like he was just released from McKilligan. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Top class. Aye, top class. You know, you have got great entertainment in Northern Ireland. If you're into this sort of thing, you like your YouTubes, you know, because I concentrate on YouTube, guys. I've got 3 TikToks, so I could be going on live on any one of them. You know, I don't even know what one of them's at. It's over 10,000, I believe. One's over hitting 8,000, and one's just started a couple of weeks ago, and it's over 1,000 already. So, you know, we like this. This is our community, and this is Northern Ireland's community as well. As anybody that comes in to be a guest in our community, because we do focus now on Northern Ireland. My main contention now is solely focused on Northern Ireland with the helping others. You know what I mean? But like I said, I think it's all interactive. I think we can all help each other, so we can. Yeah. So John Rankin. So John Rankin phones me up in the first thing this morning. You know. And he says to me something that somebody was slabbering, I thought, on my comments, right? And he told me who it was, and I've done a video about it. You know, I'm not going to keep going. I don't want to give him. I don't want to follow up with the guy because I'm really no hate for him. But then I get a video sent to me of a screen record of a TikTok live. You know, where they all talk to each other and there's wee windows and that. So there's John Rankin. Somebody else popped in, and they're talking about me, you know. So I thought John Rankin hadn't told me, right? But he already did tell me, but I didn't understand what he was saying. So I thought I was phoning him up, you know. Where are you? I've just had what's going on, you know what I mean? Because he was in the chat, but he was defending me, you know. He was defending me. He was like up there on the screen talking with the other ones. There's patriots all talking together, and yeah, he was defending me, and it wasn't like typing; it was people talking. It's like a wee room where everybody goes in. It's TikTok, if you don't know it. They have it in X as well. Smash the like button. Thank you, CJ. Even number 55. Yeah, so it turned out that's what he was trying to tell me. But you know, it was first thing in the morning. I didn't understand. But yeah, that was very interesting. That one of my top moderators was on TikTok. You know, in a group chatting about me. Oh, I just wanted to wind him up, but he don't be proud. He, as always, as anybody would, don't be proud. You know what I mean? It's old news, and it's getting a bit embarrassing now. Yeah. So some comments up. Give me something to talk about. Dinner was good, by the way. You know. Yeah, dinner was good. It's found. Where has it been found? I'm gonna have a word with myself. Honestly. Fast present power. Need subtitles for donkey. Yeah, yeah. It takes about. It takes. I'm used to it. You know what I mean. You know, you're Scouser. You know what I mean. So come dine with Freedom Dad. Oh, very funny. Very funny. Yeah. What was you like? What was you like next week? It was lasagna. Big up Northern Ireland. Thank you. John Paul, thank you so much. Jumbo, is that Jumbo? Do you believe paramilitaries are going to burn the Irish Islamists, lorries, etc.? Yeah, I wouldn't put it down to paramilitaries, mate. You know what I mean? I would just put it down to individuals that are disgruntled right now. There's no paramilitaries going to be giving orders out to burn vans in Belfast, you know. But I imagine that kind of thing could happen. You know, people are pretty pissed off about it, you know, and I just can't imagine. I can't even imagine how they're going to get the overalls on the guys. Never mind the lorries, the bin lorries down the Shankill Road. So you know yourself. It doesn't take a rocket science to work this stuff out, guys. You know what I mean? It's clear provocation of a community that's at peace. Everybody's happy and living in harmony, as far as I can see, with a couple of wee bits at certain intersections. But you know, see it for what it is. You know, it's the expected result. It was on Sunday Life. Oh, I'm sorry, mate, but you know, for somebody that's been in the Sunday world 8 weeks out of 11, you know, please do not read. You should know better. You should know better, mate. Belfast come down with freedom, Dad. I good one, nothing, man. Yeah, but like, I want to make an announcement. I want to make an announcement. This is unprecedented, and it's a milestone for Freedom Dad. So it is, guys, and it's quite remarkable. You know, this is the first 2 weeks in a row I have not been in the papers, and you know, you got to understand, like it does. It's amazing, you know what I mean, and how long it'll last, who knows, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm not going to get complacent and think that our amazing mainstream journalists are going to back off old Freedom Dad, you know. So I imagine there's something coming. And Freedom Dad and everyone, congratulations, thank you. Yeah, I'm quite chuffed. You know, I'm disappointed. There's nothing for Stevie to read and phone me up and tell me about. You know what I mean? You know, a couple of photos where he's caught over my right shoulder there. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit of relief for us all. You know what I mean? It's like and you know it's like, I think for the first couple of weeks I was all right. You know what I mean? And then I think after Dublin, that's when it first started. When I first went to Dublin, bit of an angle there. That's when it all started, you know. And then it was one every 2 weeks, and then I had a hat trick. I was in the Sunday papers 3 weeks in a row, and then there's the Belfast Tally and Irish News and everything that comes off that during the week. So when you're in the Sunday papers in on Sunday, then the other papers pick up on it online during the week. So you can be in the papers for 3 consecutive days after Sunday. You know what I mean? And it's just tiring. You know, it is. It's not. It's just constantly you're getting sent. That's it's taken up a lot of messages that people could send to me other stuff, you know, and and that's the way I look at it. Yeah, well, it seems to be that way, Sean. You know, it does seem to be that way. Dirty Cartures, how you doing? Is Foxy lad in? Aye, Freedom Dad sells papers. Aye, right, you're all going too fast there. So if there's any comments, I need that thingy. Only so many times can they can write the same shite. Yeah, that's what worries me. Iron Lady, right to be right. Right to be right. Yes, good man, Foxy lad. Good man. I was in Dublin yesterday for the Spoil the Vote march. Yeah, nice one, mate. Nice one. I'm going to check up on that, so I am. Have we look at that? I'm going to see if there's any speakers I can get. I like to listen to speakers. You know, I think everybody should listen to speakers at these kind of things. Um, Lady J, I have nothing against the Irish language, just don't force it. Yeah, of course, it's the whole point of what they're doing. Mark Story, hello, Freedom Dad, you are doing a good job. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much. The Booster Precision, yes, yes. I was there too. Oh, are you, James? But I didn't know. Did you get any footage? Did you get the speakers? Did you go live? You know, I would have put all the footage up for you. You should design a cure for cancer, and the lefties wouldn't take it in case it made them right. Yeah, yeah. There's no getting through the lefties, guys. Oh, fucking it's on, man. Bit of something in here. Oh dear, dear, dear. Did you have the Baps? Right, CJ. John Downs interview was fantastic. Thank you, Ulsterman. Yeah, it was like, and at the time, I didn't really know how good it was going. You know, I didn't really know where people were going to pick up when he was actually talking about the athletics thing. Because you got to understand, you know, we do not talk like we were nonstop, right? Pick them up, boom, into Belfast, boom, 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 here, there, and everywhere, and then boom, up to somewhere else, boom, interview. And I mean, that's the way it went. That is the way it went. There was no that we talked about stuff and different things, and talked about family stuff, and you know, guys were talking about politics and religion and just all the stuff that patriots talk about. You know, so there was nothing talked about the interview, like genuine, and anybody that knows me, this is how I do it. You know, I don't know how to do it any other way. I believe that you sit down and you turn the camera on you and you just chat. And you know, I've done a couple of times when I've sat down and spoke to people about what I have done it right at the start, and we had that most amazing conversation, and then we had the interview, and I thought if I had a fucking if I had just fucking filmed that bit, that would have been it. You know, that would have been it. The second version that we did film wasn't as good, I believe. You know, and others in the room thought okay, that's what we should have done, and you know, like I say, that's the people around me, people I've got a lot of time for, and people I speak off a lot on this channel, and well, 100% behind them, you know, and that's what I'm saying about the Freedom Dad team and the input. You know what I mean? That's I've learned from that. You know, keep doing your work, keep smashing it. Big respect. Thank you. Back up. Yeah, and it's always good to see the tricolours coming up because it sort of concretes what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Whenever it's easy for me to tell people that I'm getting shitloads of love from Catholics all around Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, and I'm overwhelmed by it. 4 hours that was last night. Wow! Thanks to everyone that was in the chat. 4 hours. Yes, I seen that. I seen that. I was like, wow. You know what I mean? I didn't know where to go with it. You know what I mean? I was like trying to zip through to try and then I thought, well, he's going to get drunker and drunker. It'll be better at the end. You know what I mean? But yeah, I caught bits and pieces of it, yeah, definitely. But like I said, I've been doing a lot of replying the messages and stuff. What was I saying there? I don't know what I was saying. I'm confused who to vote for. Now there's no one who is trustworthy. Well, we need to give them time, you know. Like I say, they've been put on notice, you know what I mean? But yeah, I do believe that people are looking at the politicians looking for answers, you know what I mean? And they've got to come up with the answers right now. And there's only so long they can be quiet for. And we're starting to see that. I'm not listen. There's good politicians out there speaking very very well on mass immigration. I'm not saying it's not. You got you know they are. I'll maybe do a video about it and bring them all, so he's all know. But like I say, it's okay coming up and saying what Freedom Dad's saying. You know what I mean? Anybody can do that. Anybody can jump up and start saying exactly what we're all saying. That's not what we want. We don't want that. You know, we've had that for years and years. We're all talking about it, what the problems are, who's behind it, why it's happening, what the consequences are for us. You know, we've been talking about it for years now. You know what I mean? And yeah, everybody's awakening at once. So yeah, let's down to that. Let's give them a chance. You know, we've only just awakened. You know, Freedom Dance just arrived. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. But yeah, you know, we are just awakening, and you know, I do have faith in them. I'll be honest with you, I don't have faith in them all, but the majority of I do, and it's just whatever direction they're going to go in is what we'll see. It's a tough call for them. You know, it's a tough call for them, guys. I've had that last night. We had that last night. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, you're talking amongst yourselves. I hope you're winding CJ audits up, guys. Wee-bit bunkers, always present and correct. Mohammed has become the most popular name in the Republic of Ireland. Right, so this is a bit of a misconception, but at the same time, you've got every right to be worried. You know, the reason why Muhammad keeps pumping up and being the most popular name is because every single, near enough every single Muslim calls it calls their child Muhammad, and it's more about that than there being shitload. Obviously, I can't give you the figures and how extreme it is. I think it's bad enough, and I'm not going to minimize the problem. But I want you to understand as well that, you know, whenever if everybody called their child Eamon, if every Irishman called their child Eamon, you know, then there would never be anybody that would be able to beat that. It's just a situation where they all have Muhammad in the names and of their children, but with boys, and that's why it's the most popular name. That doesn't tell us how many's in the country, you know. So, you know, I never want people to go off on tracks that might lead them astray a wee bit. See it for what it is, guys. Yes, there is a problem. We need to get it right, you know, and we need to get it precisely right. There's no room for any misinformation. You know, like I do make mistakes in that, and I'm always here to be corrected. And I'm very careful with my words and what I say. And you need to as well. You need to understand everything, I think, clearly. It's a fucking nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare, guys. The whole situation. Oh, I didn't know wee coffee. So good. Jonathan Buckley, yes. The TUV, yeah. Yeah. Keep an eye on the TUV, like, you know, definitely. But like I say, we need them to come out. We need can I get more coffee? We need a policies. We need we need life changing policies. That's what we need. We need them to come out and shock us, you know. Come out and shock us with their plans of what they're going to do to protect us and our children and the future of our children and stuff like that. You know, protect the culture and traditions of both communities in Northern Ireland. That's what they need to do. I think they're quivering at the minute. I think most political parties, I believe, are always quivering with the working class. You know, because we are the people with the least voices. We are the people that can be put down, as you see with the papers. You know, we don't have money to sue people or take people to court, so they can get away with whatever they want and say whatever they want. And you know, it's down to it is all down to the people are going to decide. I keep saying that these, and I think they're not too sure of the strength of the working class. If we were weak and we continued not voting, then they would get away with a lot more. If we prove that we can vote and be a voice and like be useful to politicians, you know what I mean? Then there's no two ways about it. They've got to listen to us. And that's the secret, you know what I mean, guys? It's letting them know that the people of the working class are awake. We are going to awake. We are going to take our families by the hand to the voting box. You know, it's not going to be like the old days when people were like, no, they'll be fucking, who is there to vote for? You know what I mean? They're all as bad as each other. Them days are over. Them days are definitely over. And like I say, I can hear the rumblings on the streets. And I keep telling the politicians, it just takes one political party to pop up that represents everybody with one goal and one policy at the forefront, and that's massive immigration, and they're going to get the vote of the people. No two ways about it. You know, the days of calling like UKIP, BNP, you know, Britain First, you know what I mean, the EDF, Homeland. The days of calling these political parties far right is gone. It's not going to work. You know, I worked in England at the start, and that's what created division. That's why I do believe England is where it's at right now, why they've got so many councils that are run by Muslim mayors, and why Sadiq Khan is there, and why we've got so many Muslims and Islam in, and people with dual citizenship in power in Westminster is solely down to the fact that they alienated political parties by calling them far right, you know, by saying that they were only racist and far right. And anybody that goes against immigration, they're just hateful, horrible people, you know. And then we see 15 years later the consequences of silencing these men. And still, some of these men are out in the dark. Still, these men can't get on our TV, you know, our mainstream media. And yeah, Still, these men are called far right, just like me. And I think now people are at the stage in Northern Ireland where what worked in England isn't going to work here. Simple as that. If it's going to be far right to do what you need to do in your country, if that's what you want to call people that want to look after their women and children and their cultures and traditions and make sure we don't be replaced, if that's what you want to call them, man, if you want to call them men far right, then let me tell you something. People in Northern Ireland will be voting for the far right. It's as simple as that. That's, and this is for entertainment and educational purposes, and entertainment and educational purposes only, and they're just my opinions. Okay, but like that's what everybody's saying, on both sides of the communities, and it's mental. It's mental. I've never seen anyone go as quiet over these migrants than Jim Allister. Yeah, I should give him a chance. You know what I mean? It's you've got to understand. It's something that it's too unbelievable to accept at first. I think for a lot of people, unless people are really involved in patriotism and the right wing of politics and on the ground, um, it's very easy for to listen to somebody like me and think it's just exaggerating. That's never going to happen. Can't be that bad over there. And I think slowly but surely, because of the knowledge explosion with the internet, that people are starting to work out that it is that bad over there, and it is that bad in Ireland, and they're probably trying to understand it as well. I'd like to imagine our politicians aren't involved in this. I'd like to imagine that. I'd like to imagine also that they're there right now, wondering what the fuck they're going to do, because it is a very difficult situation for them. They've got a choice. They've got two choices here: go with the establishment or go with the people. You know, and they're going to gamble that on how much power the people have. I do believe political. It's all about the job, innit? And power. These people are a lot of these people are power hungry, and that's why they're in the situations, the positions they're in. A lot of them want to be leaders. They want to be leaders of men, etc., etc. So who would they align with there? Freedom Dad, they started on mainland aligning with Labour. Who would they align with here? They have started. So yeah, well, if you're talking about Labour, you're talking about Sinn Féin, you're talking about the Alliance Party, you're talking about SDLP, who come together to has for the goals and for what their ambitions are, which is the destruction of our lands. It's clear, you know, it doesn't take a rocket science to work out the ingredients of what the pie's gonna taste like. What advance it is here going. Just do what Trump done. Get ice cream in. Yeah, so I'd like to think that it's at the minute for our political parties, they're like, what do we do? What do we do? Because you got to understand, it's the people at the top that are doing this. You know what I mean? It's the people that control the banks. It's the people that pay their wages. It's the people in Westminster, above Westminster. It's fucking, fucking. I wouldn't like to be a politician at this time in Northern Ireland. That's the truth. Like, you know what I mean? Um, yeah. Naomi Rachel Long, MLA, is a Northern Irish politician. He has served as Minister of Justice in Northern Ireland. Yeah. Yeah, Pepper Snatcher. Yeah, yeah. Advance. Yeah, I agree with you. That's going to be an option on my table as well. Advance UK 110%. There's nothing negative that's coming out of that just yet. But like I say, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you. I'll advise you. I'll be saying this is what I think. This is where I'm going. Fuck you, do what you want. I'm not here to tell you how to vote politically, but I'm here to try and make sense of it all, just as I go along, and hopefully we learn together. All right, Wade, mate, good to see you in. Haven't seen your name, like, but I hear somebody at you. All right, mate. Honestly, mate, great watch. Us, James Cahill. Oh, it's an hour long. Absolutely rips her apart. Yeah, send me that, Wade. I thought you might have seen it. On an elephant mural. You'd make it up, could you? Like, oh, my coffee, biscuits. So yeah, that's politics of the way, guys. You know, that's a minefield, isn't it? That's a minefield. But yeah, obviously there's going to be. This is how it works, right? I think this is for a simple looking at it, just a wee glance, guys. You know, at the minute, the Protestants are right wing, and the Catholic politicians are left wing, and we can compare the left wing of the Catholic politicians to the left wing in Labour, France, Germany, and the Bidens, and the rest of them, the Democrats in America. And that's there's they'd even admit that themselves. Sinn Féin will not entertain Trump, but if Biden had to win the election, they would have been all over coming over. So that's all you got to do, and you got to see the state of all these countries and how it's progressed with these left wing governments. So for Catholics, that's what I would be looking at, and it's it is nuts. There is Catholics will be voting, a lot more Catholics that will be voting for Protestant unionist politicians this year. Um, I know that in my heart. There's not a father or a granddad is going to let religion get in the way of saving their country. They're not going to care what religion you are. It was like if the DUP were behaving like Sinn Féin and letting all these foreigners in, and Sinn Féin were shouting, "That's mental." They're fucking. We would be voting Sinn Féin. Fathers and mothers and grannies and granddads in the Protestant community would be voting for Sinn Féin if it was the other way around. So why the hell would the Catholics not do it? So yeah, that's it. That's all you got to know about Northern Ireland right now. The destruction that you see in Ireland is being caused, and Northern Ireland is the combination of Sinn Féin, Alliance, and the SDLP. And you've just got to look at their policies, their words, and their actions, and it makes my life pretty easy. If I'm honest, you agree, right to be right? Am I wrong? Is Iron Lady, Foxy lad? Am I wrong? Yeah, but but when it comes to voting, we're going to be voting for the people who are speaking up about it. So if the DUP don't want to be in the voting race, then that's up to them. They can continue being the puppet masters or the puppets of the puppet masters in Westminster and carry on blindly destroying our future and the future of our kids. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they will do, and we will act appropriately. You know, it's as simple as that. You know what I mean? We are asking them. There is citizen journalists coming up. There will be more citizen journalists coming up, better ones than me, and they will be asking them difficult questions. And we'll be taking our lead from mainstream media. We'll be doing the jobs that they were doing a long time ago against Maggie Thatcher and all the rest of it, and all the Conservative MPs. And we're going to implement that kind of style of journalism back into Northern Ireland. And it's a style of journalism that they've tried that the MSM have sort of pulled away from because they don't want to go up against Sinn Féin. They don't want to ask them the tricky questions. Just like they don't want to ask the grooming gangs any tricky questions. Just like you're not allowed cameras or there's nobody reporting, but when it's a white BBC news presenter who's done with child stuff, they're mobbing him. They're mobbing him going into court. But when it's Muslim Pakistani men, oh no, don't go near them. And what happens when you do? When you ask them, how do you feel about your guilty verdict? You get jailed. But it's okay for the journalists to do it to our own people, but we can't do it to Islam. You see, it's always the same. The protection that they come under is unbelievable. And it has to be a warning to people. They've done it themselves. The fact that they want to bring Islamophobia laws out, it's absolute. It's the biggest warning sign, the biggest alarm bell you could get. and never think that it's anything other than that. That is an alarm bell going off, guys. Whenever they're wanting to silence us, so we can't criticize one of the most violent religions that we've ever seen in our countries in the world. That in my time, you know, and I've been around some terrorism I did, guys. Honestly, like, and we come from a terrorist country, and met them all. Met them all inside prison, outside prison. Both loyalist Republicans. And this is a different ball game. This is a different. This is a different level of terrorism that no community should ever dare risk coming into their society. You know, and every community should do everything they can to stop it coming into their society. You know, Scotland needs to unite more. Scotland's a tricky one because of the independence and the left between the sort of left. It used to be left wing, right wing. So it was independence. So it was right down the middle. Now, I'll be honest, maybe there was a couple of right wingers that supported for independence. I doubt it very much, you know what I mean? But maybe they thought they were right wing and just doing the right thing. I don't know. But it was very close. The independence vote was 51 to 49 to remain in union. Very, very close. Yeah, very, very worrying for me and any other unionist. It was a very scary time for unionists all up and down the breadth of the United Kingdom. And at that time it was SNP, and we've now learned. We now learn now if they had got independence, that they would have been part of the EU because they were going to leave one union and join the other union. And that didn't. That was one of the pushing points that I had when I was trying to talk out against it and try and get people not to vote against it, the vote for independence. And I was looking at a logical view of, like, if they had offered something that sounded reasonably logical, then I wouldn't have got involved. But the fact that they were saying that they were wanting independence, and they were wanting independence, but joining the European Union, and I was like, and they didn't know what currency to use. So yeah, it was all pretty mental and pretty amateurish from. And this is the left. You got to understand. This is why you always got to remember we're a lot cleverer than the left. Uh, if they had used their heads and done things a bit differently, and they could have got independence, you know what I mean, and then done what they want, just like Labour did. All the lies that Labour said to get in the power, with the waspy women, the farmers, the winter fuel, all the rest of it, totally reversed everything they said and let the voters down. You know what I mean? Big time. Big time. Like to me at the time, I was researching it and Googling it and doing all sorts of AI in it. I was trying to find a way to bring charges, because I'm sitting here going, this is a political party who just lied to the people to get in the power. Like honestly, like, stood with them and told them, yeah, we will get you your compensation when we get in the power. You vote for us. And they're all standing with Labour fucking signs, all proud as punch. And then Labour get in the power and go, you know what, we don't have the money. It's Tories' fault. We won't touch the winter fuel payments. Oh, we got to do it now. It's the Tories' fault. Not going to touch the farmers. Now we've got fucking hundreds of tractors every fucking week near enough heading towards Parliament. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're very lucky that they were very stupid, and it was a lesson to the people of Scotland, and I think they're learning from it. And that's not saying that there isn't going to be another independence vote, but that could be an independence vote that even the rights support. You just don't know. We don't know how far England will go. We don't know down the line, 10, 20 years' time, what England will look like by then. Will there be more cities or less cities that have been replaced? That's the question, So obviously, if there's more cities, then and Scotland's able to hold its own and keep Scotland for the Scottish and for the locals, and put their own people first, then I imagine the only way they're going to protect themselves is with independence. Having the rule of the union is only going to damage them. But I imagine with England is what they're going to try and do with us, is do what they're doing with Scotland and create the problem equally. So the amount of people in Scotland right now that will be voting for a left-wing party will blow your mind. And these are foreigners that have come into Scotland that are now voting for the left, and that's your big problem. So if we had SNP, and if we could go back to the independence vote and take the migrants and immigrants and refugees that are in Scotland right now back with them, I could You can ask any scientist, anybody with sense, sociologists, psychologists, anybody that's involved in social policies, they would tell you that Scotland would have won the independence vote. And that's how serious it is. That's how it can affect your politics and your country. Something so serious, something that a lot of people don't even believe is a problem. It's actually the biggest problem they've got. And I cannot emphasize that enough. This is why I keep pushing about the voting thing. You've got to get it into your head that these people are going to vote for the people that let them in. Yes, of course they are. They're not going to vote for the people that want them out. And this is what I keep saying to the English people. When it comes down to voting, and you're voting for them to get them out, well, they're going to vote for whatever party is against you. And if that's reform, which it will be, and you have every single right-wing party in this hand together and up against reform, along with all the foreigners and the Muslim vote, it's going to be tight, guys. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very, very tight. And the longer it goes, the harder it's going to be. So, yeah. Farmers matter, yeah. Farmers matter. I don't need digital ID. I will stay at my blanket fort. Talking amongst these sellers, simply BGMA down in this crack. What are you laughing at? Buy a Nokia. Oh, why? The union is very fragile. Of course it is. The union is very, very fragile, you know. And I do talk about refugees from England and Scotland coming to here, and I am fucking deadly serious. I am so serious, I know so many men that want to come over here. Many men and women that want they come to Northern Ireland and see what it's like, and they go, "Fucking hell, man! We used to have this." Invest in silver. Yes. Yeah, I do a bit of. I've got a bit of silver. It's for my daughter, but Nicholas Surgeon, wee Jimmy. Yeah, so we were talking about the union now. So yeah, the union is fragile, guys, 110%. You know. And I know we're doing talking about independence is trying to not that they care, but the English government that there's other weapons that people can use to save themselves. Guys, doesn't matter how loyal you are to a boat. If it's going down, you're jumping off. Northern Ireland isn't going down with England. Nor Scotland, I don't think. We're going to have a hard enough time not going down with Ireland. See, all the says is the only reason we've kept everything the way it is because fucking they haven't wanted to come here. It's through their own choice of not wanting to come here. You know, you're like you're going to Belfast. We're not going to Belfast. You know what I mean? They're all mental. They fucking they're all fucking. As far as they're concerned, we've all got guns stashed still. All our police are armed. They don't want to be dealing with that. You know. Northern Ireland has a reputation. The police service, the intelligence service, everything. These guys know this. They know this. You know, and they don't want to come here. But like you've heard with John, it's only a matter of time where they're going to have no choice because there's going to be nowhere else for them to go. And I keep telling you this, and I want to say this again to you so you can get this out to other people. You know, we're at a stage now in England where illegal immigration, has happened for so long now that the criminal terrorist elements have bedded down and they've took control of the drug scene, the gangsters, criminals, counterfeit, the works. They have complete control. You know, Albanians, Pakistani, they're all working together, bringing product, moving product, like security. One country could be security for another country who's bringing the product in, and another country would be selling it. You know, that's the way I hear that it's working right now. It's not foreigners fighting amongst each other. You know, it's them working together, so everybody gets a slice of the pie, and there's no room for anybody else. And our local criminals and gangsters that you knew back in the day, that you know them all, the Hugheses and Curtis, the Lanzes, the Daniels, and Paul First, the Kincaids. They're all dying away. They're all going to Spain. They're all living off the money they made because it's too dangerous for them. You can't trust these guys. You can't trust them. Like criminals, there needs to be a bit of trust with these kind of guys, especially drug dealers. When you're going with product and you're going with money, there's all you got fucking £100,000 of product and £100,000 of cash at one spot. So there's a lot of trust, and that trust was gone with these different criminals coming in. So what I'm trying to get to with this, to try and just let you understand, because not everybody, not like the mainstream journalists I don't know if they do know this, but they always say they've got connections to this, that, and the other, which I think's a lot of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Whoever their connections aren't very good. I know that, but just because of what they're not saying, you know. So yeah, that's something that we know as working class guys. You know, people that's been involved in prison and criminals and being around criminals and having friends that have made and kept through life, kept in touch with. So the point I'm trying to make these guys is these guys are already embedded. They're already structured. There's not even any room for any more foreigners to come in. A new breed, a younger breed. You know what I mean? As you see with the power multis in the years, at different, you know how it went. You had the younger ones taking over the older ones, and even in the INLA, the IPLO, and even the IRA, we've seen little conflicts where leadership changed a wee bit. So it's not like that there, because they've got other options. They have other options. They've got Scotland, they've got Ireland, and they've now got Northern Ireland to choose from. And with that, as you can imagine, brings drug addiction, serious drug addiction, as we already see in West Belfast, in the Holy Town, and other areas where our kids are going into, Protestant kids are going into Catholic areas to buy these Class A drugs that we've never seen in Northern Ireland before. And yeah, that will explode, and it'll come in cheap. You get 3 for the price of 1. That's the way it'll start, to get everybody addicted, get all the young ones, and and they'll then lace it with stuff that they make it even more difficult for these guys to leave alone. And as far as they're concerned, we're kafal, we're kafar, whatever it is. You know what I mean? They don't care about us because we're Christians, and they're making money off us and killing us at the same time. Unaliving us through, as you know, how the story goes with that kind of addictions in areas. We've seen it with Glasgow, we've seen it in Dublin back in the day, we've seen train spotting. These are things that have been in our community that was pushed by local criminals, local gangsters, who didn't have much care for society either, obviously. It was all about the money. But what I'm trying to say, that these guys are just a wee bit more brutal. It's not just about the money, it's about breaking down our society as well. So that's something that you need to be aware of. These new ones that are coming in constantly will be wanting to do exactly what they're doing, but they'll have already set up shop and they won't be taking any shit from nobody. So nobody's going to go up against. So they are going to find greener pastures. And I've spoke about this before, but anybody that's just come on, it is another aspect of things that's going on with illegal immigration and legal immigration that's going on in England and Scotland. So, yeah. I'm confused. What do INLA want liberated from? The INLA is a wee bit like the PLO, you know what I mean? the IPLO, Irish People's Liberation Organization, the Palestinian Labor Organization. That's where they get that from. The liberation is more or less a connection to the PLO and a tip to the cap to fellow terrorists who helped them fight the war against the British and British civilians. But yeah, in a nutshell, communism. Dirty touch, yes. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Marxist, there you go. I hated getting up to change the channel. Yeah, BBC One, BBC Two, UTV, and Channel 4. I can remember going from black and white to colour as a wee boy. Yeah. I can remember walking in from school, and I'm sure my mum was like sort of thinking me at the TV, and I've turned around, and straight away I seen the wee blue, green, and red stripes. Back in the day, that's how you knew it was a colour telly. Straight away I clocked it. You know what I mean? And yeah, colour telly was a big deal. Big deal. So it was before I was 8. You know what I mean? Um, I'm still in black and white. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. I don't think it looks too good in colour these days, the world. We couldn't afford TVs. We watched it radio. Oh, don't, man. Don't. You'll be talking about your tin bath next, right? To be right. Fuck's sake. The NLA were liberated from their corner six and bunch on Longsdale Grips. Giving away your age, I know, mate. I know. Big buttons on the TV, yeah. BBC One, BBC Two. And then you had the dial. Remember the dials? Yeah, with the dials. You need to watch Freedom Dad in high def, lol. Yeah, that's not advisable. What was a bath? Yeah, I was bathed in the Belfast sink. I have pictures of me bathed in this, getting bathed in the sink. Don't know where they want me, Jim. Yeah, CSC, all this bath in the skip. We had a metal bath in the back wall in the yard. Fuck knows how my mum done it. Like, I really don't know how she done it. Um, yeah, one of the big metal bath guys, you know what I mean? And it hung on the wall with its arse end out. And my mum would bring that in, put it in front of the fire, fill it full of hot water and bath me, you know? And, you know, as a wee boy, you just get bathed. You don't think of the work that's getting put into this bath. Um, yeah, a couple of Belfast sinks where I live. Imagine that, Belfast sink is what are in mansions now. Well, believe it or not, I've sold quite a lot of Belfast sinks. You know what I mean? I've got an eye for Belfast sinks. You know what I mean? Pick them up in the markets quite a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of people have them in their gardens, just full of compost. And if you go up and say, listen, I'll give you 50 quid for that, they'll most likely take it. You know, because it's just a flower pot to them. Some people, you know, a lot of people don't, but you do get people that just go for high. You know what I mean? And you get up to 100 quid for a Belfast sink and onwards, depending how big they are. But even a small one, you're talking 100 quid these days, even just for the wee small Belfast things. The older the better. Some are over £500, correct? Yeah, they are indeed. That's the big deep ones, you know. They're going up to thousands, some of them, like, depends what stamps are on them as well. Lady J was out from twin tub washing machine, never broke. See, I don't have much memories of that. We had a mangle. I can't remember a twin thingy. I remember seeing them obviously, but all I remember is the mangle in the backyard that sat under the back window. The boat in the morning. 2 up, 2 down house, tin bath, near fire. Yeah, just Kilburn Street I'm talking about in the village, you know what I mean? Number 5 is where I was born and bred, guys. That's where my tin bath was. Stephen would when you think back. Wild when you think back, right? You know, James. A super sure. You know. Washing machines now use gallons of water. Yeah, I could believe that. Yeah, we all been there in the kitchen sink, no two ways about it. If somebody take Freedom Dad up to Belvoir, you're not sure where it is. What the fuck's Belvoir? Well, I've heard of it. I name it. A Thomas Copper, Harry Tracy. Happier times, yeah, definitely happier times. Jeez, oh man, best times of your life, innit? Jumping about the streets of Belfast in the 70s and 80s. I just bathed my grandson in the sink yesterday. Well done, mate. Nice one. You must have bathed me back in the sink. Yeah. Too posh, eh? Too posh for sinks around here. I was on phone there for about 20 minutes, not sure if I missed much. Now we're just talking about baths. Tin baths, Belfast baths, bathing in sinks, you know, nice and chilled and relaxed. No madness, no grooming gangs, no terrorism talk, and no political talk. Finish with it all now. You should see the two Belfast sinks where I stay. Nice one. You sell them? Give me a tenner for them. They're not much worth. They're not worth much these days, really. Like us. Did you enjoy your dinner? Yes, I did. Saw you making it. I hope you kept me the leftovers. The dogs get the leftovers. Didn't have a cousin. Never mind a second cousin. Some of you are lucky to have second cousins, two cousins. We were talking about NLA and their allergic reaction to soap. Come on, guys. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Do you guys remember getting chips from Ritzy's? Yep. Do you remember Milky Burgers at Malcolm's Chippy? No. Hawaiian burgers. Right, Lady J, have you been drinking? Honestly. Is Lady J a moderator? Oh, great, good. Can you remind me never a moderator. I'm joking. I'm joking, Lady J. Maybe one day you might see them driving by next time. Can't miss them. Mine's on the chat. Pink pasty. Yeah, good pink pasties in East Belfast, guys. My son and his girlfriend are looking for somewhere out of Edinburgh, West Lothian area. Oh, and it's a nightmare. Yeah, private or council. I can remember coming out of Newseasons with a snood mag, a scud mag, and a pocket full of sweets for 10p. Deary me. They are about 90, you know. Now, what's a pink pasty? I'll get you a pink pasty when you come over, John. Buying Freedom Dad? No. I don't know what it is, but no, definitely not. I like a cheeky, I like my pasties. I know, Rev. Good one, Lady J. Toast on the superstar, one pure butter. Yeah, used to see. I remember. I can remember before there was sliced bread. You know what I mean? Freedom, Dad. What's more important for you, getting the pictures apron back on City Hall, which will never happen, or getting a job? Oh, I missed that. What was it? If you want me to get a job, don't ask me to get a job, guys. What would the left have to say if I got a job? Best pasties. Oh, is that right, Lady J? I'll maybe do a pasties video. I'll maybe go around and try pasties in every chippy. Okie dokie, I'm gonna need that. You got yours to charge? Oh, can't get the staff, guys. Can't get the staff. Honestly, I'm gonna have to do a bit of directing here. Make Freedom Dan, make them a deal. You get a job if they start getting washed. Tut tut tut. Anyone remember? Thanks, Lady J. Sarah, thanks, Lady J. What are you thanking her for? Huh? She's not getting to be me and a moderator, sir. She's trying to befriend you. Lady J's gonna be angry with me tonight. As long as you join the union, you will be all right. But you gotta go to demos. But it's okay because you gotta. Yeah. Freedom Dad, your best mate Nolan won Broadcaster of the Year. Did you get invited to the party? Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Would you want to go to his party? Let's be honest, guys. Would you accept the invitation from Nolan to go to a party? There's a joke that could be had, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be the better man here. I need to go to Turkey. This is costing me money. Don't be going and getting turkey teeth, mate. The best Belfast bap all over, lad. Stephen. I've got that bap guy, the bap podcast guy. I've got his number. I was going to give him a phone. So CJ was on his show. I know he's had a bit of trouble with the old law, and that's the kind of guy I like. if there's anything I can do for somebody like that, you know what I mean, then I believe what I've been hearing from other people. I've done my homework, and he's half decent. There's no many half decent. You know what I mean? It's hard enough, getting through life these days. Oh, on you go, mate. Whitening. See you Friday. Yes, mate. Yes, definitely. Oh, 100%, man. As always. We get a good chat. We forgot to mention the crescent facing the Orange Hall in Sandy Row. Good old years. Yep. I've never been arrested in my life, I promise. Foxy lad. Been. No one's party about it. Right. Hi, Warren, and I hope you're well, chum. Is that the Warren? The wrongly accused, arrested? Come on. Huh? No. Okay. Sorry. He'll be losing his job now. His missus will be turning around looking at him going, what the fuck have you been up to? Oh dear, sorry mate, sorry Warren. Sorry. In Turkey, with who? I worked with Mark, smiley face.
legally or illegally. um, a wee bit similar, but pork, minced tatties, and onions. Very nice. Yeah, I'll tell you what, like, I'll tell you something, guys. After yesterday's interview, I'm like, I've told you I'm not drinking and all that, you know what I mean? And I'm fucking giving it a miss after the Stanley incident. I can't get my face straight with that one. And last night I was really tempted to have a drink, like, you know what I mean? Um, because I bought somebody a bottle of wine to thank them, you know what I mean, for helping me, just for being there and helping me. And I was going to get myself one, to take home. And I thought, nah, yeah. But it was just that feeling that we'd done really well. We'd knocked it out of the park. The feedback I got immediately from the video, and I don't normally get that phone calls from people going, "Wow, well done, mate, well done, fair play to you," like, and from people that I don't normally go out of the way to say, "Listen, that was a good video. No more drink for you, freedom after your scrap." It wasn't a scrap. It wasn't a scrap. You know what I mean? I sent it to a couple of my mates the other day. I hadn't seen it. I'm just knocking videos out of the park there, guys. I sent it to a couple of mates the other day. I hadn't seen it, and I think like has because I knew they were watching it wherever they were at that moment. My face was going red, you know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is. It's real life. But yeah, no, I like to show it to my mates as well, just to get because they always give me an honest opinion. They'll always say to me, you know what I mean, because I haven't had the balls to watch it completely. That's the truth. Who watches themselves drunk? You know what I mean? It's the silly wee things that annoy me. Probably just will give people a laugh. You know what I mean? But I have been putting it out to my mates, and everybody knows exactly what happened on that boat. And not one of them came back with any negative feedback. You know what I mean? They were like, well, you were put in a situation, you were drunk, man. For fuck's sake, give yourself a break. So yeah, Christmas special. You know what I mean? Fucking what can they do now? They barred me. You know what I mean? So yeah, in a public space, whether it's a public space or not, they surrounded me and um, they approached me and accused me of stuff that I don't even know what they were accusing me of. To this day, I don't know what they were accusing me of. They've never told me or never given me the courtesy to tell me what I've done wrong. So yeah, that's big companies for you. That's anything to do with right wing. Any mistake you make, you're crucified. And the mistake I made was getting drunk. And not articulate myself right. And allowing them to shows me in a bad light. There's no two ways about it. And for my haters, of course, yeah, the left wing, my loved ones and my friends who know me, they think it's totally acceptable. It's one of them things. I'm a YouTuber. I go lives. I speak openly and honest. And I was drunk. You put all them together, and you're always going to get that kind of thing happening. You know what I mean? I'll learn from it. I've learned from it. And was it a setup from the start? I don't know. A couple of people have said to me that was a setup. You were weak, you were vulnerable, and they took advantage. That's what a lot of people think that I've watched the video, and other guys that were there that we're in communication with now, and yeah, it is very strange, and it's taught me a lesson. It has taught me a lesson that be very careful when I'm traveling and not to drink any alcohol because you're not the same. You think you're clever, but you're not. Keep everything up to date with ever going on. Fuck the BBC, TV. It's Watching Freedom Dad telling the real news that matters. Thank you, Mobland. Fucking Mobland. Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, someone told me if Nolan had a party, I'm not reading them out from you, Kendo. No, I know what you're like. I know what you're like. I'm not here to personal attack the guy 110%. Like, I'm fucking never going to be doing that to any man. Um, you know, he gets enough flack from enough people, doesn't he, from Freedom Dad? Save me a plate, lady. Everything alright? Yeah. So yeah, I've done a wee TikTok. Yeah, unbelievable. Like I was fucking walking along the street the other day and I found a number one, a silver number one, and yeah, just laying on the street, fucking blowing a gale, and there's this helium balloon lying on the floor, not moving, you know what I mean? Fully blown up. It's over there. And so it's the wee man's birthday on Tuesday, and he's going to be 1. But my original thought was, like, that was my mum sending me down to say, listen, son, you're number 1 citizen journalist. But everybody says, no, it was sent down for the baby. The baby's going to be number 1 on Tuesday. You know, and I was like, all right then. I was wanting to walk about with it. Number 1 citizen journalist, sent down from heaven. You know, but it wasn't there for me. So yeah, it's for the wee man. People change. I knew a CEO in the UVF and he passed. He was a gentleman. Yeah, this is the thing, guys. You know, I've made this clear. There's a lot of good men that have done bad things in this country, and you've got to understand what I'm saying here. There's a lot of really good men that have done some bad things, you know, and it's just about the upbringing, peer pressure, the political stance, and the troubles, you know, being brought up as a young man on the streets of Belfast. And it's unfortunate, it really is. And you know, there's men out there that probably struggle to sleep at night, you know, struggle to deal with what they've done. And you know, at the end of the day, it's because they're good, you know. And like I've always said, the majority of men in this country have been in prison. Would never have been in prison if they'd been brought up anywhere else in the world. And I stand by that. I stand by that. I'm here. I know them. I grew up with them. Been in the prisons with them. Walked the streets with them. You know, yeah, they're all around me. £40. Ali Bow, where I live, I knew every CO, and most I went to school with or were friends with my brothers, all decent men when you met them. Yeah, you're right. Some bad eggs, like in anything, but you know, like I say, I'm not going to keep going on about it like a stock record. What happened? The troubles make a lot. Cool, can you hear me alright? Because I forgot I've took my mic out. Cheers, Stevie. Sounds fine. Okie dokie. You want to talk? What do you want to talk? Why? Huh? Hi guys. Oh dear. So I'm gonna get a wee fag, guys. Gonna talk amongst ourselves. You know, when you think of something to ask me, something that you need to know, that I might be able to answer. What's another from a friend? Oh, right. What do you want? What do you want, you wee rooster? Oh, John Rankin, where have you been hiding? Now's your chance to get Iron Lady to make his tea, John. Now it's his chance to make Iron Lady's tea. He'd be in the kitchen right now. Very well. I can hear the spoon at the side of the cup. And the Iron Lady will be reclined. Or she'll have her feet up. Right to be right, I did. What's the kiddie's name? Reggie. Reggie. Don't wanna see. Don't hear purring. You're a wee dote, aren't you? Not really a cat man, like, to be honest with you. I could ring your boss in a bar, mate. Yeah, he is. He's a wee cracker. He is. He's quite. He's nice. He's biting my finger and he doesn't really bite it, So that's good. And he doesn't really scratch you. He just. Yeah, he's quite an alright wee cat. Bad shit, crazy, but sound as a pound. I love that. That's the working class, isn't it? That's the working class. So everybody knows a Reggie in the working class is bad shit bunkers, but brand new. Can you hear him purring? He's loving it. Right, okay, that hurt a wee bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. My dad told me you can't get a fully black cat. Is that true? No. No, I don't think so. I've seen loads of fully black cats. Well, you ring my missus and tell her I won't. You ring her, tell her I love her. I won't be home tonight. Yeah. Did you see that? Is that froze? Is that frozen? Has he got a bell on his collar? I think so, yeah. Oh, George Galloway, wasn't that priceless? Wasn't that priceless, eh? Okay, now I'll never get that image out of my head. His mate covered the Brown Bear bar. Just talk amongst yourselves. Oh, his mate owned. Still has one away. Knows what that is. Yeah, why would you go on national telly and do that? I think he was caught up in the moment of the Big Brother house. I think the confinement. That's back in the day when we watched it was quite good like that. You seen them like forgetting about the cameras and you seen the real people come out. And that's why we don't get real people on it anymore. And that's why it's all celebrities. Even when they say it isn't celebrities, it's normally the daughters or some celebrity and stuff like that. They don't have working class people don't get on telly anymore. Right to be right. Brown Bear Shangle was on the Brown Bear bar was on the Shangle. Anybody in I haven't said hello to, if you wanted to throw a comment up and say hello to me, I'll shout you out. I know, you're right, Demo, or number 55. Yesterday in Dublin, the hatred for Sinn Féin was off the scale. Ex-members disgusted at them all sorts. Wow. Hello, Audrey. How you doing? Audrey Johnson, welcome in. Sorry if you're here. Sorry I missed you. Gary Strain, what's the plans for your week, buddy? I'm keeping it a secret. The Nolan Show years ago had made him a fool. On Nolan Show years ago, I made him a fool. Shankel had the brown bear and Carrick Fergus had the brown cow. Strange that. Hi, Freedom Dad. Hello, Foxy lad. Just joined your channel. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, welcome aboard, Foxy lad. I just want to let you know, as you're new, this isn't a dating chat. It isn't a dating channel, you know. And stop chatting up my camera girls and stuff like that. That's not allowed in this channel. You know, I've heard about you in CJ's channel. You know what I mean? That's the same at every protest over the last 5 years. Yeah, you're right, James. It has been the same as well as I'm getting from you guys. Thanks, but no thanks. How you doing? Good evening, friend. Dad. Hope your dinner was good. Yes, dinner was great. Dinner was great. And East Belfast has the beached. Yeah, Naomi Long. Yeah, I wouldn't say that was anything to do with East Belfast. Our offices happen to be there. That's about all she's got to do with East Belfast, guys. I haven't shaved. Keep up the good work, John Hamilton. All right, mate, how you doing? Keep up the good work, lad. Appreciate as we are all being fed this from the top down. Yeah, 100%. Listen, keep it away. See, Naomi Long is not Newton Ords Road, correct? It's all right. No, no, no. It's okay. Okay. Come here. Come here. There you go. Play about that for a wee while. Rather than the cables. Here, you can have that. Right, no better. I swear now, Freedom Dad, and I know no one will believe me when I say this, but I am a gentleman and I am currently celibate. I've no choice of your own. 100% Mobland, very good. Need to go here to phone my brother to give him horse results. Hope you to catch up soon. Okay, mate. All right. Is that Leslie? Is that? Me and Dor is Cheviot. Stephen. Hi, Freedom Dad, ladies, yeah, all in chat. Hello, Stephen. Good to see you, mate. Have caught you. Just never. Sorry, I never shouted you out. What are you laughing at? Duckling bullets. Then needed a pint. He loves his cuddles, Blackie. Yeah, he does. It's either it's cuddle him or he's going to play with the cables. Sell a lot of what? Foxy lad. LOL. Thanks. Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? I think you're going. Yeah. Off. Where are we putting all these new comers back into their boats? Yeah. I don't think that'll work like, but we'll leave it up to the politicians to decide that. Did you know in Letterkenny and Donegal there is a fourth mosque being built? I've not heard of any mosques in Belfast. Yeah. The mosques in Belfast are not like built mosques, but they have premises that they're turning into mosques right now, as far as I know. Maybe that's a bit harsh. Freedom Dad also needs to grow his followers. So that was the end of Jay. What there? if Harlan Wolf built it, that give them rubber. Yeah, okay. Right, guys. Trying to get me shut down, are yous? Wow. It's W. He's so cute. God, foxy lad. Fuck's sake. Well, I love heart. What's he like? You know. Anyway, eh? Trying to get in through the cat, eh? Can you believe that? He's so cute. Fuck's sake. Oh. Apparently someone set fire to a mosque in the mainland yesterday. Fed up, we all of it, day in, day out, yeah. Harlan Wolf. Fucking easy amused, isn't it? Demo, did you see that? Not reading that out.
No.
Oh, do you know Foxy lad like I? Have you met him? Oh dear. He's awful quiet, isn't he? He's like, I can't even talk about the cat for fuck's sake. Oh dear. So I hope you're all good, guys. Just a wee Sunday chill. It's just chill, you know what I mean? I know I've talked about a couple of heavy things and all that, like, but it's just whatever you ask me. Oh aye, LOL. Oh aye. Shut us down. Was in East Sussex, the mosque getting burnt. Okay. Do you never run out the wall? See if she goes up there.
Starts climbing up my walls like, look, I'm covered.
From McCracken. Stacks Flat, how you doing? Okay, guys, Freedom Dad and team, and out for a dating site. It's not the best. For a dating site, it's not the best. Yeah, it's not a dating site.
No.
Unfortunately, guys. I could start a dating site up for you, like. I'm not quite sure. Is it an over 50s in it? It'll be an over 50s dating site. It was in a place called Peace Heaven. LOL. LOL. Everybody's getting that but me, I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got a bit of we are the undateables. Oh, don't. Oh, well, Freedom Dad. I'm nearly over 60, LOL. Yes, that's okay, Alan. There'll be somebody for you as well, mate. I'm quite sure. You know, in the Freedom Dad dating site page. There won't be Freedom Dad 73. It'll be Freedom Dad over 50s. YouTube channel. Why is that not working? Why is that? Why am I losing? Oh, that's perfect. Let me have a wee look at this, guys. Do I just...
I just stop pauses. Look at this.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Freedom Granda. Yeah, very good. Freedom Dad 16, FD 69. You're coming up with good names, like, you're ready for this, aren't you? You really want this channel, don't you? When John Rankin's like, yes. Happy days.
First and nine.
You know what I mean?
It'll be
Freedom Dad over 50s, you know what I mean? Look. See you Friday, mate. Yes, definitely. Be sure to come speak to me. As always, you always speak to me. Come, no matter what, just come and speak to me. True James, grab a granny. Oh, maybe grab a granddad, guys. Cooking with Freedom Dad. Yeah, you gotta get that in, don't you? You gotta get that in. You gotta lower the tone. It'd be like speed breaking, speed dating, and the knee breakers. That, thank you, chat with you. Yes, Jeff, definitely, mate. Freedom Dad Bake Off. Can't cook, won't cook show. It's a dating site. It's a dating show we're doing. We're not doing a cooking show. Alan, yes, 100%, mate. You just tell me where you are and we'll meet up. Got a lot of people to meet up with. I've got a list of people to meet up with. So I'll do right now. Who's in the chat? 126 over. Yeah, so we're only joking, like we're not going to be starting up a Freedom Dad dating site, guys. You know, maybe if listen, I'm not going to rule nothing out, right? I'm being deadly serious here. See if the politicians come out and they go, right, we're shutting the borders, we're changing the voting, this is not happening in Northern Ireland, boom, boom, boom. I'll start a dating site. I will. You know what I mean? Great, we all met up one night. Yes, that would be. I would like to think that the moderators at least would meet up, you know, at Christmas or something. And do a video together for everybody to see. You should do Freedom Dad bingo. I've done bingo. Eyes down, first number. I've done it. I'm called it out. I've done commentating. I've done the Arabian Derby as well.
You stink in that kitchen, you need to keep stinking.
Bingo's Tuesdays would be good. Yous would cheat. Yous would fucking cheat. I know yous would. I know yous all. Look at Iron Lady and Right to Be Right would win every week. And yous would all say it was a fix. No one would date me after this chat. Yes, that's the plan, Foxy lad. I'm trying to warn my followers. Trying to warn everybody, you know. You're doing a staff Christmas dinner, Freedom Dad? Yes. Yes, I've got something planned. If I'm still here, I'm still fucking. You might be coming up to visit me, fucking wherever. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll just fucking one day at a time, guys. Good one, Alan. Good one. Dad, with your luck, the cops would hit you with money laundering charges. I know. They wouldn't date it before the chat. Maybe Stephen would give you a go. Who's going to be the bingo caller? Well, it would be me, wouldn't it? I got to be the bingo caller. I want to be the bingo caller. I know that they're like 2 little ducks, 22. 2 fat ladies, 88. On its own, number one. You know, I can do it, guys. You know what I mean? I can do it. Nobody would date me in this chat either. Plus, guess what? I don't care. Oh, Lady J, come on now. You know Foxy lad had the hots for you. You know what I mean? How about a quiz night? Not that I'm quick enough. How did we referee that? 7 and 3, 73. Oh God. Oh, Space Cadet, 2 little ducks, quack quack. All the ones, legs 11. Okay, what's happening to this live tonight, guys? Honest to fuck. Jeez, oh. Oh man, can't believe we're doing bingo numbers. This is Foxy lad that's done this. Number 4 knocking the door. Yes, we're all well versed, aren't we, in the old bingo, like. But yeah, I've had a good day, guys. I blame Weebit. I can't blame Weebit for anything. Weebit is always there first and always at the top of our game. On here and off here, you know. You don't see the work Weebit puts in. You know, you don't see the work quite a lot of guys put in. You know, you see right to be right. You see him because he just can't stay to the camera. You know what I mean? But some of them, the Freedom Dad team are quite camera shy on like right to be right. Good night, Foxy lad, mate, and hope you have a good day tomorrow. Hope it's a quick day for you. I won £250 at bingo in Ballymena. Brilliant night. Happy days. Oh, fucking hell, man. Yeah, you're definitely leading on the Nolan show, bro. Foxy lad. Thing was, I never joined. Evening, Samantha. How you doing? We don't have long left. Been on for a wee while now, but, you know, it's nothing. We went through the serious stuff. And we're just chilling. Sunday night, just chilling like we normally do. Who's you're buying the drinks at Christmas, Ulster man? Yeah. I won't, Alan. Yeah, I'm not gonna badmouth Ballymena. It's an amazing wee place and amazing people. But yeah, it's a good funny wee joke. He is a she. He is a she. I didn't wanna unless because I thought maybe wee Vic was pretending to be a guy to some people. You know, so I wasn't gonna say anything. With a high rental income I hear. Yeah, you're right, Kendall. John Rankin. Wee bit punkers as a woman. Eminem's disappeared, guys. Eminem's disappeared. Hope he or she's alright. And fucking, what do you call him, our troll? Where's our troll gone? We're gonna have to find our troll. We'll give him another week, and then we'll find a troll. We'll get one of the trolls. See the ones that come in and you just keep thinking. Freedom Dad South is saying protests ain't working. They need to step up a gear. What gear do they need? Do they mean? And is my question. I reckon that would probably be about gear 5. You're going in the 5th or 6th gear there. To be honest with you, if you're asking my opinion, you know, I'm in gear 2. I'm in gear 2. So yeah, a long way to go before we need to think outside the box as far as up in our game is what people are thinking. I know what people are thinking, you know, the protests aren't working, then let's go to violence. Let's go straight to fucking plan B, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's not going to serve any purpose but fucking make things more difficult for us, you know. There is going to be, I'll be honest, like, I'm going to be brutally honest. There will be a time in our country when violence will probably pop up if it's not sorted out, and it will be at that stage when it won't set us back. You know, the reason why it's going to set us back right now is because the whole nation isn't awake, and we've only got half a nation awake, and we've got the other half a nation thinking that the other half are just far right and racist and haven't got a clue what they're talking about. And how could possibly we be replaced? How could a government possibly do that? It's just diversity. You know, so that's the situation we're in, and that's why it would put us back. But we are going to be at a stage where we're going to have 70 to 80% of the nation awake, and therefore it's going to be impossible to put us back. You know, we're going to be at a stage where people are going to realize that, you know, maybe a year, 2 years down the line, if things keep going the way they're going and people protesting and nothing happening from it, then yeah. And yes, you're right to be right. A spark will light the fire, and it's not sparky. You know, I don't want that being any code, right to be right. You know what I mean? It's got fuck all to do with me, but yes, a spark will ignite the fire. Uday came to my door one time. I said I never knew he had a brother. Well, you talk amongst yourselves, I think. I just had a morbid thought. I don't have a funeral plan. Thanks, but no thanks. No cool, bro. No cool, bro. One day they stop outside City Hall. Demo, remember it's not a dating site. Dirty chances will here will show the world how to react. When the genie comes out of the bottle, nothing will put it back in. Yes, James, unfortunately. Freedom Dad, you missed me. Audrey Johnson, I didn't. Did I? Oh, maybe I did. Yeah, you missed me asking earlier what is going to become of those who aren't accepted as working class. For most of us, it's not our fault. We used our education. Oh, let me have a look at that. Freedom Dad, you missed me asking earlier what is going to become of those who aren't accepted as working class. It's nothing. It's not our fault we used our education. It's not your fault that you were educated, you mean? Not used your education. Some people weren't able to use the education because, you know, some people are brighter than others. This is the way I look at it, right? And this is nothing against you, obviously, Audrey. Some people are brighter than others. And when you have a class of 30 kids, the teacher can't teach each individual kid. That's one of the problems I had, and I hadn't a fucking clue what they were talking about. And I just needed to explain to me in some different terms. And I just didn't want to keep putting my hand up, you know. And I imagine there was lots of kids like that, you know, that fucking struggled to get by in school and all the rest of it. And, you know, like I say, mental health and stuff and the mind and what maybe people have been through as children would affect their learning capabilities at that age, at that particular time, because of this trauma that they don't know that's going through, with me lashing out and fighting and all the badness of being a young boy that got me put into training schools and all the rest of it. Was definitely misplaced and nobody understood it, and it could have been dealt with in a different way. We know that now. We know about all like we've learned from the mistakes that's been made with children that's been through trauma and became problems in society. We've learned a lot from it. So what your main thing is about the difference working class and middle class and upper class and all that, and it's not about that. What I'm trying to get across is it's immigration is affecting the working class. It isn't affecting you right now, you know. The people that live in the leafy suburbs and affluent areas aren't experiencing what we're experiencing because we don't matter as much. We don't have as loud as voices, and the most deprived areas in the working class area are the ones with the least voices. So that's why they target these areas. Plus, they're rundown areas. They're next to conflict zones. You know, that's where Protestants and Catholics meet. You know what I mean? This is what I'm telling you. What's going on? You know what I mean? And I'm not having to go at anyone in middle class and all that. All I'm saying is I'm having to go at the working class, to be honest with you, because it's the working class that need to stand up and start voting, you know. It's the working class that needs to start paying attention to politics, whereas before, you know, the way the working class has been left to run down, the working class have lost faith in politics and don't see the point in getting involved. And that's the point I'm making when I'm highlighting the working class. Never think, Freedom Dad and Mother died when I was 13, but had a super nanny. Brilliant. That's good that you had the nanny, mate. Not brilliant. Obviously, you know, score. But yeah, I'm definitely never having to go at anybody. I'm maybe having to go at the working class more than you think, you know. And I don't mean to either to do that, but I'm definitely not having to go at any classes, to be honest with you. I am from the working class area. The working class area I've suffered the most, you know. And it's not down to, I totally understand, but my granddad started a good school in Ballymena, and out of 18 children, there are only 5 British names, and it doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect us. My granddad started a good school in Ballymena, and out of 18 children, there are only 5 British names, and it doesn't affect us. It does affect us. Class structure in the UK and Ireland is extremely polarized intentionally. Yeah, you're right, Ulsterman. Are people on both sides more influenced by environment rather than religious backgrounds? That's a tricky one, Baseball. Do you think things will change when Prince William takes the reins? No. The middle class have just more access to credit. Yeah, good point. I think birth rates. No, I don't agree with that. I don't. I'm not. I'm. No. I'm going to have to say something. You know what I mean? The middle class have more access to credit. I think we've all got access to credit. The working class does fuck it straight away. That's the fucking truth. You know what I mean? We all have access to credit, and we can all build a credit score up. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's easier for people with more money, of course. You know, it's not a class thing. You know, really, it's down to individuals. King William the Fourth. Oh, right. Okay, Audrey. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, that's a different way of looking at it. And yeah, okay, I agree with you. You're right. But are you seeing it in your area where you live? I must go. Dogs need a run. Thanks to you, mods and patriots. Night night. Thanks, but no thanks. Thank you, mate. Woke lefty woman use that as an excuse. Most folks, it's down to finance and security. Yeah, a couple of questions. Anybody want to ask any questions? Anything at all? Anything about me? Anything about anything I might know about? If the royal family had any power, they would be with the aid of the British people. Yeah, I've lost faith in them. Unfortunately, don't like talking about it because it hurts. Davy, only way it could change if William said send them all home and keep cash as only one thing in return. Yeah. Can that get appointment for Doc Hospital? Yeah, that's common thread now, Jeff. Audrey, my next door neighbours are Korean and Indians a few doors along, but no bother with them. Yeah, that's what we expect. You know, that's migration working. You know, there's no grooming gangs. There's no houses being robbed. There's no people being followed. There's no kids being followed. There's no guys hanging about the parks, I take it. You know, so yeah, you're very lucky. You're very, very lucky. Like I say, we're not anti-immigration. You know, something that we just can't get across enough. Seen you with ones outside City Hall yesterday. Did you believe? Oh, I'm going to have to read that. Did you believe in COVID at the time? Don't have the answer. It's a difficult one to answer. Going to shoot here. Buy me coffee. There's only 400 family. Okay, I'll answer that in a wee minute, mate. Right, so was that? Yeah. Did I believe in it? To be honest, I wasn't. My head wasn't in the right place, guys. I just lost my wife. And, you know, I wasn't leaving the house, never mind getting vaccinated, you know. That was me personal, you know. I can't tell you whether or not, I can't imagine me going along with anything like that. Obviously, it's easy talking in hindsight with the information I've got now, but if you're talking about it at that moment, I just was oblivious to everything that was going on, you know. I was in a bad place, guys. A very, very bad place. The worst place I've ever been in my life. And I've been in some fucking shitholes and some bad, deep holes, you know what I mean? And yeah, the beginning of 2020 was the beginning of a nightmare for me for 3 years. The whole tax system is the biggest con I've ever witnessed. People with money don't have to wait 2 weeks for a doctor. Yeah, correct. But we were finding people spending their life savings now on their children. You know, let's be honest, like, if my wee Lucky needs an emergency operation or some sort of operation, and there's a waiting list, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to get that money to go private, one way or the other, you know. And that's me, because of who I am. If I had the savings, it would be spent on her, every penny. And I don't think there's a father out there that wouldn't. And this is one of the situations that we have right now in Great Britain. Families are having to spend all their savings to save their children's lives because there's no room anymore in the NHS. And if you don't believe it, you've got to research it. Just research it, guys. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Really hope you're getting... Oh, yeah. Fucking hell, mate. You know what I mean? Thanks to you guys as well. Breaks my heart. Northern Ireland Jambo, 1874. It breaks my heart when I find out that people did take it, you know. It's one of the first things I ask my friends and my loved ones, did you take it, you know? And that tells you everything you need to know where my stance is on that. Exactly right to be right. You've got it there. I'm not gonna cover it. You know, I probably will delve into it when I get a bit more confident with my channel. I don't want to. I want to protect us. I want to protect the channel. I have been watching stuff to see how far other people are going, so it gives me a guideline. And I have touched on it. I have brought videos for you to show you where to go. When the doctor, the undertaker who found the white blood clots, brought that to you, showed you where to go to find out and research that. And yeah, I have covered it as best I can. I was at 3 funerals last week. Listen, there's people dropping all around me. You know, the wee village where I stay in Scotland, you know, I know 4 youngish men that just went within a year, more or less. People that was close to, people I knew, one particular, 2 in particular. Yes, I remember that big bass boom. Yes. I remember. I meant to get back in touch with him. So I did. They pay immigrants no freeload. Ignoring facts, LOL, your pals are dust. You need to elaborate on that one, Westies. Did you add photos to the description of the last video, Freedom Dad, or did YouTube do it? What one? What last video? Did you? No, I don't add info or photos to any. YouTube can't do that. The last video, Freedom Dad. Huh? At the one today, at the kitchen. What was the one before that? Is that where I was talking about the YouTubers and they brought their YouTube pictures up? That's me. Anything that comes on my videos, I do. Any editing, any writing you see, any pictures of YouTube channels that pop up, that's me. The Bradley and Elder were your best mates, if I'm correct. Please leave this guy on, guys. Do not let this guy go. We are needing a neutral. Do you want to be our neutral, the Westies? Because we can interact as much as you want. Joe Bradley and Remy Elder, so he's talking about 2 guys, they're older than me, from South Belfast, that are no longer here, you know. And, you know, growing up as a young boy, we looked up to the older ones, and, you know, these guys are no longer here and we remember them. That's what he's talking about. You're not a troll. It doesn't, it sounds like, if is this your first comments that call me out and stuff like that? You know, maybe, all right, fair enough. Right, so you've just landed in Freedom Dad's channel and you've seen me doing stuff and you've watched me do the bands and all the rest of it. And, you know, this is who I am, mate. I'm not pretending to be anything other than me, you know. I'm a Protestant, a Unionist, ex-loyalist, you know, who loved the community I grew up in, loved the men around me, who looked after me as a young boy growing up, And that's who we are, just like guys in West Belfast who have respect for hunger strikers, Bobby Sands and Hughes and all the boys. You know what I mean? And, you know, what do you want me to say or do about it? Do you want me to pretend that, do you want me to lie? It's not happening. So you praise them as friends, don't you? That when, like, not friends, I didn't know them directly, mate, but I knew of them. They were in my area. I grew up watching them. You've been on your channel, but your admins block me constantly. But what the fuck are you doing if you're getting blocked, right? I've told you you're not going to get blocked, right? You won't get blocked. But you know, I'm not. We remember people. You know, whatever way you see that, that's with you. It's not with me. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. So it's down to you. It's you have the power of what you can get from Freedom Dad, what questions you can ask. It's quite a powerful thing that you have. You know, you're here, you've got a chance, I'm live, you can ask me, you know, whatever you want. That's not nothing that's really gonna bother anybody, you know what I mean? Like I say, I put these things up, you know what I mean? It's me, it's doing it, nobody else, you know what I mean? And I've got no problem seeing memorials from other guys in West Belfast or Southern Ireland remembering Eastern Uprising, you know, the Bloody Sunday, you know, doesn't, I would never fucking call anybody out for that. Doesn't make any sense. We've moved on, you know, we're not allowed to remember our dead. Fuck's sake. If you are correct about the COVID thing, surely that's enough to stampede. Yeah, I know, but not everybody's on the same page with that one. Like, because of the silencing, obviously, from social media platforms, i.e., the government. Because it's like medical, they've got quite a lot of push and pull and fucking power. Because if you give out wrong medical advice on any platform, they come down really hard on you because it's quite a serious topic. Telling people what medication to take and not to take. This is where you are with this, you know what I mean? So you got to be very careful, and you've got to be clever about it. And you know, at the same time, there will be times when things will change, and we will be able to be more open and let people be aware of what's happened and what's went on. But right now, it's a very dodgy, dangerous game, and it's enough to bring a channel down. No probs, Kendo. I'm happy he's got a free coffee. See, he's not a bad lad. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just something it's a problem. You know. Maybe there would have been a time if I was in a situation like him and following somebody like me, and they were putting up stuff about the IRA, and I would bring it up, I suppose. You know what I mean? You know. So yeah, I've got no problem with it. I get it. I understand it. You know what I mean? These are the kind of things we need to talk about going forward. This is exactly the kind of things that are going to come up on both sides. That's the problems that we're going to have, and it's good that we can sort of look at them right now on Freedom Dad's channel and maybe, you know, have a chat about them. You know, see where we go with them. See if there's any common ground at all. You know what I mean? And if Resty stays, then we've maybe found some common ground. If he goes, then maybe that shows us there'll be a problem in the future. It's not a problem. I've been dealing with bigger fish in my time. Yeah, well, you know, this fish doesn't need hooked or anything like that. It's not a problem here, mate, you know. Jay Carroll, you're not money block. Jay Carroll, in James's defence, James is from Southern Ireland and he's just protecting his mate. James knows me. I've had dinner with James. I've had a drink with James in Southern Ireland. So he knows the man, Freedom Dad man. He knows the person. He knows Sparky. He knows Mark, you know. And that's what it is. He sees some guys coming in and behaving in a way where he might think, well, you're out of order there, mate. You know what I mean? Just because he's done this and just because that, you don't need to really bring that up. We're talking about something different here. And, you know, and in his defense again, I do direct my moderators as if there is too much and it's taking people away from what we're talking about, then yes, they need timed out. But we don't block you. As you can see, you're back. When you coming into West Belfast for a demo? Are you inviting me into West Belfast for a demo? You know? Come back on with your real name then. Mr. Westies. You know what I mean? Come back on with your real name, son, and we'll talk about going into West Belfast. There you go. Any advice for me? We said 3 of them, mate. Fuck. No, buddy, there's nothing I can say. Oh, well, I can tell you this. I can tell you this. I know this. I can tell you this. There is people that say that the first load that came out weren't real. And there is also people that say that because they weren't kept at certain temperatures, they didn't work. So that's what you've got to hang on to. That's what you got to hang on to, guys. And Miss Michelle Stone brings out the new trainers. The Westies, why aren't you doing a demo in West Belfast? Is the question. Fucking good one. You know what I mean? Good one, mate. I'll let you answer that, Westy. You know what I mean? When you get 5 minutes to think about it. You know, have a laugh, mate. You know what I mean? You know, you came in punching. You know what I mean? So I'm just bobbing and weaving here. Cheers, wee bit bungers. Cheers, Sparky. And as you can see, Westy, I've never blocked you. Only timed you out. Big difference. Oh, be careful, Westy. Be careful, mate. Prod have Parmaldi's brothers and sisters and sons and cousins ready to pop. Because he is a Protestant. 404 LOL. A Protestant. We are all Protestants. You know, we used to all be Roman Catholics, didn't we? You know what I mean? Now we're all going to become Protestants. Yeah, I don't think Sinn Féin will take that too well. But because the INLA will clip their bent and yeah, okay. Let's not wind the INLA up, guys. Let's not annoy anybody tonight. You know, because you are all using fake names. I'm here with my face and everything. It's all right for you. You just go home at night and, you know, shut your doors and nobody know where you live. No demos over here. No one needed to be honest. We welcome all humans. Yes, you're going to be a good one. We need you, mate. We need you. We need you on here like we do. Oh, you got to elaborate on that one. You know, they're all humans. Yes, we agree. You know. So what do you do with the bad humans? You know, what do you do when the humans want to build mosques and they want to change things in your area? Multicultural society, big man. Well, tell me how you're how old are you? That's an interesting question. I would like to know that because honestly, I hope you've got time to see how your multicultural works in 10, 15 years' time. Have you not been paying attention to what's going on in England? You know, so you're quite happy the Fall's becoming Rotherham, Rochdale, Luton. Is that what you're telling me? You're quite happy the Divis and Ardoyne and Andytown becoming a Rotherham or a Rochdale? They're only humans. Ask Tommy Toland what he thinks about the mosque in Andytown. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. There is a part of me like grateful, to be honest with you, to you guys to have this attitude. England is fucked. He's been watching BBC. Yeah, because you know it takes a flack away from us, because when the time comes when they decide to bring the Palestinians over and the Gazas, then we've made our situation clear in the Protestant Unionist areas, you know. But obviously you're making your position clear as well. So I hope you welcome them in when the time comes, you know. But do you not think it's strange that quite a lot of your community are coming to Freedom Dad, and quite a lot of most people around you, you know, unless you're at a Palestinian demo, people can see what's coming and can see what's going on? Pure ignorance. Sadly, all humans are equal, even when they want to kill you. Yeah, James. You know, you got to understand it's something I'll never understand. It is something I'll never get my head around. Palestinians are good people, just the same as Jews, all different, all equal. Yeah, well, according to the Palestinians and the Gazians, they don't think that about Israel, okay? And according to Israel, what happened in October the 7th, they don't think that about the Gazians and the Palestinians when they were all cheering and clapping when they were bringing the hostages back. You know, I don't know if you're actually aware of the terror that was committed and what actually happened, because I can't tell you, but you can probably find out if you do enough research of the level of terrorism that was put onto these people in Israel on that day. Women, children, and pregnant women. It's horrific on another level. And to have one of them men come into your country, then that's a problem. And you cannot tell me which of them men that have been involved in that are still there, that want to come here. You can't tell me which ones are which. But if you're prepared to take that chance under the guise of diversity and we're all humans, when you've seen people behave in such an inhuman manner, then that's down to you. If that's what you're going to do to your community, your children, and your future, that's down to you. You know, but it's not happening. We're not having it. What was committed on October 7th was horrendous, but what is happening now in Gaza is worse. Yes, we agree. We agree on that. 110%. I'm not this. You're preaching to the choir here, mate. You know, we're not talking about that. We're talking about, you're wanting to bring them over here. You're wanting to bring them into West Belfast and the Falls Nordown and all the rest of it. You're saying they're all only humans. You know, you're telling me they're all okay. It's all good. There's no problem with it. Why should we worry about having grooming gangs in our areas? Why should we have 800,000 children, you know, affected by foreigners coming into the country through abuse? That's all right to you. They're only human. That's what you're telling us. That's what they said in England, wasn't it? Diversity is great. They're only human. Everybody's human. Let them in. Tell that to the 800,000, over a million. Without a doubt, I'll sit here and argue and bring it up with anybody and debate anybody. Over a million victims because of men who've been allowed in their country, either legally or illegally. I say illegally because of the traitorous government let them in. And one day, Westy, that's what people are going to be calling you, because of your attitude. Because you can't say you can't see what's coming. You can't sit there and tell us that you cannot see the terror. The difference in terrorism between them guys and us. The level of horror that they bring to the table. You can't tell me you can't see that. You know, and maybe you need to argue it because it's a cause in the PLO and truly you're a Republican, you're a dissident in the INLA or the IPLO, you know, and you can't leave that. It's just, you can never step out of that circle that you're in. Because you'd be uncomfortable, you're out of your comfort zone, you know. But my advice to you is think about your children, don't think about yourself, think about your future. You'll be doing more for your cause, you'll be doing more for Ireland, you'll be doing more for your community. Taking the blinkers off and being open and honest about things instead of coming on and telling us that kind of nonsense. You know what I mean, mate? But fair play to you for coming in and giving us your views, and I respect that. I don't agree with you at all. I think you're completely wrong, and it's really damaging. Your attitude is really damaging to your future, to your culture, to your traditions, to everything that you fought for in the past. And you may think that you're being good and you may think these guys are great, but these guys do not accept any other religion but Islam. And that's the truth. And the only reason that you are involved with the Palestinians and the PLO is because they used you. They used you. There's no two ways about it. That was their way of getting at the British government, just like Gaddafi when he gave you the Semtex. That was his way of getting at the British government. And you were pawns in a bigger game. You know, we all were. You know, and if you you know, you've got to, you know, and it's on both sides, Protestants, loyalists, and Republicans that are so focused on what they know and what they believe, and they just don't look outside that circle that they're in. They don't step outside it because they're totally out of their comfort zone. Yeah. It's not his truth, you know, it's my truth, and this is the thing, you know, it's difficult because it is difficult to convince these guys otherwise, you know. But like I say, all's good, Joe 90. Yep, Joe. Yep, all's good, mate. Um, yeah. So, but like I say, at the platform, I don't want people being blocked. And tonight, like I say, we're going to let some trolls in, and I've got no problem dealing with trolls unless it's just silly abuse, you know what I mean, and one-liners and all the rest of it. But just if you're still there, you know, I want you to know this, you know. I have as much respect for the hunger strikers for giving their lives for their cause as I do for any man that's given their life for their cause. There's the difference is one was my cause and one was your cause, but you would never be able to speak like that. You would never be able to say, you know what, these guys give everything. We targeted these guys. We had active units trying to take these guys out from many attempts before we got them. Some of the cases you tried many times to get some of our guys, and some of you it took 6 men to take one of our guys out. You know, and you'll never admit that or be respectful enough to say, you know, these guys were that dangerous and they're that much of a threat. Is we had no choice but to target them. You know, and that's what we see when you do this to our men. We see how good these men were to be targeted by your guys. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's where we're at. This is the problem with, as you can see, guys, with this guy's come on. You know, he's quite prepared to call me out because I backed my fallen. I remember my dad in my areas as I grew up as a young man in the conflict that we were involved in. And it's my life and what I lived and breathed, and I don't know any different. I don't know how to behave any other way. Do you expect me not to remember them? Do you think I'm going to forget about them just because we're trying to come together and communicate? That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's absolutely ridiculous, and I wouldn't expect you to be the same. But this is what I'm saying. You know, us loyalists, us Protestants, we know what the conflict was about. We know what men give. We know what men give, losing their freedom, losing their lives, you know, doing things that they regret today, you know, and we respect it across the board. You know, we don't love don't love it, we don't like it, but we have a respect there. And that's what sets us apart, you know. But telling me that you're quite happy with bringing all these Palestinians and Gazans in without really looking into things properly and what possible problems could come from it, fucking blows me away. It really does, like. And it's just like I say with Sinn Féin and the dissidents that are on the go right now, they have no care for their future. They're that hell bent and hatred to bring down the Union and to get an All Ireland. They don't care if that All Ireland looks like something different in 20, 30, 40, 50 years' time. As long as they get that All Ireland before they die, they don't care about the future. They don't care about their kids and their grandkids. And that's the fucking saddest thing that I can see happening in this country, to be honest with you. To see men that were so brave and so ferocious and so brutal and so staunch become destroyers. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It is as bad as each other. DUP having business renting human souls to immigrants. All as bad as each other. I don't know about the DUP doing that, like. Any proof? I'd like to see that. Like, no neighbours to Gaza even want the Palestinian people. Yeah, I know that there, mate. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like everybody around the world's like going, right, we got these headers here, we don't know who's good and who's bad, but I think they're the worst of the worst because I think all the good ones have left by now, and we don't know where anybody want them, and then you've got West Belfast, IRA going, we'll take them. That's what it seems like, you know. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Can I say I seen the Queen through my sights in Bisley shooting competition? Yeah, you can say that. Scary, isn't it? Like, if you had her in your sights, that's, wow, that is like food for thought, isn't it? Like, Egypt has a border with Gaza, and Egypt won't let them in. Have you seen the border? You know, right to be right, seen the border, but have you all seen the border? Google the border between Palestine, Gaza, and Egypt. Google the border that they built. You know, and that's to you, Westy. You know, come on, man. Do you think you know better than the Muslims? Do you think you Catholics in West Belfast know better than the Muslims in Egypt? Fucking wise up. Egypt knows the score, correct? Correct, Margie. Correct. Do you know, Margie? I think it's because they don't want to be seen as supporters of Hamas. But what time is it, guys? 10 o'clock. It's been a long life. It's been a long life. See, look, I seen him going for it then. Wonder why they don't want them in Egypt. They wrecked the place the last time they took them in. There you go. Their border puts Trump's wall to shame. Yeah, fucking, yeah. A crazy border. Like 3 layers, I think. 3 layers. Reservoir, and reservoir, not, sounds like reservoir, no. Reservoir, and not just one rule, reservoir, rules and rules and rules of it. You know? I've seen prisons less secure than Egypt, 110%. I promise you, with my hand on my heart. You know, plenty of prisons, maximum security prisons, with less security than Egypt. You have to beat CJ's marathon. Oh no, we will. 4.5 hours, man. Fucking hell, that's a long life, isn't it? I'd need a drink for that.
Yeah.
I need a drink for that, guys. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Depends how many was in and what the crack was and if what we were talking about. So yes, guys, I'm gonna roll. As Kendo says, good night, Freedom Dad. I'm gonna wrap it up. Been a great wee live. I enjoyed my wee lives on a Sunday, and yeah, like I say, the IRA used to PLO to hunt down one of the touts in England. The fella was from Londonderry, Gilmore, he was called. Yeah, James. Yeah, maybe I. Good night, bro. Good night, right to be right. And as right to be right, you just know is Freedom Dad's security. You all know that. Everybody knows that. You know what I mean? And he's got a wee bit of work involved this week. I'm going to be testing him this week, guys. That's all I'm going to say. We've got something big coming. Don't know when, but it's coming. You know, and like I say, it's going to be a big deal. We don't know how it's going to go. It's going to be one of them ones that could go anyway. One could go anyway. And yeah, look forward to it, guys. And I've got a video I want to bring these that I've been meaning to bring these for the last 3 days, but because other stuff's been coming up, I've been prioritizing stuff. Well, tune in on time next night. Good night. Oh, and God bless. Cheers to unity. You can you good. It's certainly on now. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say in it because I've got to be careful. Got to be fucking very careful. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we've got a couple of things coming up. We've got a bit of work to do, guys. We've got a bit of work to do. So we have got a wee night shift coming up, so we do. We got a wee night shift coming up. I don't think he knows about this one, but I think he does know a wee bit about it, but I don't think he thinks we're serious. But I'm looking forward to that as well. And yeah, it's content. Whatever we're doing, we will be bringing it straight to you, you know. And within hours of anything being filmed, it will be straight on the YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. It waits for certain times to put videos out. They just go up, you know. Stay safe. Call of Duty time, LOL. Yeah, Call of Duty time for right to be right. Call of Duty time for right to be right. Oh dear. Day or night, bro. I know that, mate. I know. And yeah. Bestie, wake up and smell of coffee. Thank you, Raymond Dunlop. Lady J, good night. PJ, good night. J, James Cahill, number 55. Jeff White, see Friday, my bro. Ulster man, good night. and God bless. Samuel Mellon, you should vote for. Who should I vote for this time? I have the same outlook as yourself. Stay tuned, mate. That's all I can say. I haven't got the answers right now. Nobody has the answers right now. We need to see. Let's see what they've got to offer the communities and the people of Ulster and Northern Ireland. Rick Main, next interview, Freedom Dad. Philip Dwyer and Rick Munn, next interviews. Yeah, I'd love Rick to interview me because I think he'd ask me some difficult questions. You know what I mean? I'd love Rick to interview me. Night Freedom Dad chat. Night 55. Night James. Night Big Bass Boom. Space Cadet. Last person out. Let me Reggie out. He's farting with. Oh, you're paying too much attention. So you are, Space Cadet. You're gonna get a gold star. So you are. Yeah. So Dion and Lady J, PJ, nobody Samuel Duck them. Ali Bo, we have no options. You'd be surprised what options may pop up. Do not give up hope. Please do not give up hope, guys. We are in a very different situation right now than anybody else, and we are Protestants and Catholics of Northern Ireland. So, you know, it always makes me smile when I know the strength of our men and women on both sides of the community, because I know fucking what we've been through in the last fucking 50 odd years, you know what I mean? And it should scare the living daylights in any politician, you know, that's the truth. Night Freedom Dad, keep up the good work. I'd vote for Nolan if there was a chance. Oh man, you've been informed the night, B Raccoon. Keep up the good work, the vibes work, and these people. Good night, night Raymond. I laugh Nolan show interview McConnell, and I'd like to also get a really good interview with Niall McConnell. So I'd love to sit down. I'd love to go to Donegal, go to his bit and sit down and get a good fucking live with the two of us just talking, and like just no fucking about, just hardcore, hard fucking whatever if we argue, debate, whatever, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that's the kind of man we need to be communicating with, you know. How long do you think? No, sorry. Anonymous, what the hell is the PSNI doing lifting Palestine protesters off the streets of London? Have they not got enough to do here? No, I know, mate. But listen, you know, like I say, it works both ways. So it does. You're a good man, Freedom Dad. Thank you so much. Not everybody agrees, but thank you for that. And I should maybe leave it at that. Maybe leave it at that before Westy comes back in. You know what I mean? Wee Westy from West Belfast, which isn't the Shangle. You know what I mean? Stand your ground, keep the faith, protect the faith, defend the faith for our children. I will indeed. Yeah. So good night, everyone. Good night, Right to be right, and all the troops and everybody in Freedom Dance team, all the moderators, and all you long-term loyal followers, subscribers who have been here for a long time. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the live. You know, I don't expect many people to catch this one because it is a bit long, and yeah, I don't understand why anybody watches my videos sometimes, but you know, yeah, sometimes I do knock out one out of the park and they are no too bad, but like the lives, you know, it is just a community. It isn't about anything else. We talk about anything random and it's just about having a laugh. The main thing is having a laugh on a Sunday. Let's try and have a laugh on a Sunday no matter what we've been through during the week. And hopefully with the content I bring this week, fingers crossed, because God willing, with the protection of God and the strength of God, hopefully the content this week is 10 times better than the content last week. So there, we'll wait and see what happens. Right, guys, all my love, as always. Lanacorn, thank you. Just in case I miss anybody there wants to say goodnight I haven't mentioned. Nolan show couldn't handle feeling Dad. Jeez, oh. Going once, going twice. Wee bit bonkers. Always the first word and always the last word. And all my love, guys, as always. I love you all the bits, and God bless.